Hello, it's John Heaton, and today I'm going to review an album by Electric Light Orchestra, which came out 31st of May 1979, Discovery, and it was the first ELO album I bought on the day of release. I'd had Out of the Blue the previous year, but I'd bought that in the spring of 78, and it had come out in, I think it was September 77, so it was a bit late coming to the party for that one, but for this one there was massive build-up, I remember it, and I think Radio 1 played some tracks in advance one evening, which kind of spoilt it in a way, because it's nice to get the album brand new, but it was exciting to tune into that. I forget which DJ it was, playing quite a few of the tracks, and what some people used to do is tape stuff off the radio and then not have to buy the album, but I seem to remember they didn't play every track anyway, and I'm not sure if I was into home taping. I probably did, but I couldn't resist the album. Remember that phrase which used to come on the inner sleeve of records in the late 70s, home taping is killing music, with the skull and crossbones sign. That was always, I find that quite amusing looking back on it, given what's happened in the intervening decades. Anyway, so not one of their best covers. It's the back cover, and it's the gatefold. This mysterious, I'm not sure if it's a boy or a girl, carrying this ELO spaceship thing. This is the inner sleeve. Sorry, with the truncated lineup of Jeff Lynne, Kelly Graucott, Richard Tandy and Bev Bevan. So Mick Kaminski, Hugh McDowell and Melvin Gale were not listed on the album, the lyrics on the back by the way, but they do feature in some of the music videos, so that's quite interesting. It's on the Jet label. I noticed when the ELO albums were re-released recently, they're not on the Jet label. I forget which label they're on, but they're not on the Jet label. Okay, and then we've also got this, which came inside it, which is nice. It wasn't in my original, so that's good. Quite happy to have that. So I bought this. This is my second copy of Discovery. Always nice to have extra goodies there. So yeah, as I say, massive excitement when this album came out, but I was probably a little bit disappointed overall, just because my expectations were so high after Out of the Blue. I mean, it had its moments and it was magical. A lot of it was magical, but just as a whole, didn't quite live up to that double album mammoth achievement that had been Out of the Blue, or the previous one, a new world record. But let me see, I printed off some stuff about the album. So a couple of tracks were disco oriented. So Richard Tandy made a pun on the title Discovery and called it Disco Very, which is quite amusing, I suppose. So the lead-off single was Shine a Little Love, which is probably the most disco track on the album, along with Last Train to London, and it was a little bit underwhelming. I remember when it came out thinking, why are ELO doing this? They don't have to do this. Last Train to London was a more successful disco cut, I always felt. Shine a Little Love was okay, and with hindsight it's not a bad track. It's just we were used to Wild West Hero and Sweet Talking Woman and Turn to Stone, Mr. Blue Sky, those 4 singles from Out of the Blue. It's not quite on that level, if we're honest. Number 1 in the UK charts, the first number 1, number 5 in the US, number 3 in Canada, number 4 in Italy, number 2 in France. So the videos, by the way, are on here, which is the 1978 Out of the Blue Wembley concert, which is not brilliant quality. If I think it's Richard Curtis introducing it, but it's not brilliant quality. It would have been nice to be there, but I think Jeff Lynne always, one of the things he says about ELO is the sound quality they got in the studio, and he probably includes live, was not as good as he can do now. So he went and re-recorded a whole lot of tracks recently, which I didn't think improved significantly over the original studio versions. I guess live he can produce a better sound nowadays. But I think those Out of the Blue, Discovery, New World Record production values on that album are pretty stupendous and very good for their time, and I'm not complaining. But anyway, this live concert of 78 at Wembley includes Discovery, all the music videos for Discovery, and so it was a bit of a trend at the time to make videos of every track. One thinks of Blondie did this for Eat to the Beat the same year, I think, and then Wings did it for Back to the Egg. So those three, more or less all the same year, I think 79. So can't think of anyone else who did it. There probably is. Anyway, so Shine a Little Love is an okay single. Confusion is the first magic number. Just a glorious melody from Jeff Lynne, beautiful singing, good backing vocals. Kelly Groucutt was missed when he left the band, and Jeff Lynne's solo albums miss Kelly Groucutt's backing vocals, very distinctive. And Confusion is an all-time great, in my opinion. Need Her Love is one of those Jeff Lynne ballads which is timeless, maybe goes on a little bit too long, but glorious melody, nicely played by the band. And yeah, it's not quite up there with Stepping Out or something like that, or even Big Wheels from Out of the Blue, but it's decent. Now, The Diary of Horace Wimp, I guess opinion is divided on this one. Some called it a classic and Beatlesque. Said the verse was Lennon and the chorus was McCartney. But to be honest, I've never really liked this track. I find it a little bit annoying. I find the words silly and all this Monday, Tuesday business. I can take it or leave it, and I don't know why it was a single and it didn't do particularly well. I just think it's a little bit too gimmicky, and it's never been a favourite of mine, let's put it that way. So side one ends a bit disappointingly with that, and then side two opens very strongly with Last Train to London. This is ELO doing disco well, like really well, and just a great hook. And it was 929 Backstreet Big City, and then the chorus with Jeff Lynne singing, superb falsetto vocal. Good video for this as well with the train track. Top class track. And then Midnight Blue, this is probably the best ballad on the album, better than Need Her Love. Glorious melody, pretty much top drawer Jeff Lynne ELO ballad, sad love song. And then On the Run is quite a decent number, not bad, maybe a little bit filler, but decent filler. Wishing, same could be said of that, decent filler I would say, but quite enjoyable. And then the album finishes with a tour de force, Don't Bring Me Down, possibly their greatest achievement, one of their biggest hits. Superb drumming at the beginning from Bev Bevan. The video's a little bit disappointing. It's in black and white. They're trying to look arty or something. Could have done more with the video, I think. But just a great hook, a great guitar riff, and well played, and very much a party track, sing-along track. Love it. So when this album was good, it was very good. The follow-up to this was Xanadu with Olivia Newton-John collaboration for the film Xanadu, which had a couple of good numbers on it. But the first full album after this was Time, which I think is a better effort than this. But this was still decent and worth investigating. Thanks for watching. See you next time.